So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to this evening conversation. My name is Mazi Ezoke. As you all know, this is a series titled The State of the Nation. And in this State of the Nation, we have had series of conversation with so many Nigerians of note, many of whom you know very well, for many of you who have joined our conversation. Today, we will be having in that series another conversation with an eminent Nigeria that many of you also know. He is a man, an individual who is well accomplished. My guest this evening in the State of the Nation series, in this one on one conversation, will be Chief Dr. Dele Momodu, the publisher Ovation International,
Mm.
a businessman, motivational speaker, social crusader, 2023 presidential aspirant under the People's Democratic Party. Chief Dele Momodu, good evening and welcome to this conversation.
Good evening, my very dear brother, the great Mazi. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, and
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Okay,
you
good.
loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay,
Okay, so
fantastic. And
in the, so in the last couple, let me just quickly,
yeah, please
because
go on.
obviously I know you are very busy, and we had a call before. You've been on the road since morning. I don't want to keep you much longer than expected. Now, you know, in the last couple of weeks, you've been consulting. How has that experience so far been with you? Can you walk us through because obviously, following you on your Instagram, I have never seen someone so busy on the Instagram account as you are. I mean, how do you do it? What is the magic?
Well, let me start by thanking you for this opportunity to be on your very influential platform. You are one man I've come to respect and admire. Uh, you are extremely versatile. You are a detribalized Nigerian. We've collaborated on a couple of projects in the past. So I want to thank you for this opportunity. I can tell you, I just drove right now into one of the big cities in Osun State. I left Ile-Ife this morning to go to Osogbo, from Osogbo to Ede to Iwo. You cannot imagine how busy I have been. But you asked me, how do I do it? The love I have for my country, the concern I have for my country and for my people, I believe will drive anyone to want to give up every measure of comfort. That has been my case. I am tired of lamenting like Jeremiah. I'm tired of complaining and doing nothing about it. I mean, and the experience has been quite wonderful. Let me remind you, and especially your viewers who may not know my background or my trajectory, that I started my journey from the homecoming to my father's village in Ire in Owan East local government of Edo State. A lot of people didn't realize that I come from Edo State in the south region of Nigeria. So for me, that is a master stroke. A lot of people are even saying, oh, he only went home because of politics. I've been to my village before, but because my father died very early. I was 13 years old when my father died in 1973. And in those days, because of superstition that you'll be killed by witches and wizards, he never took us home. So I discovered my village only after my father had passed on. And I'm very proud of my glorious heritage. Today, everybody knows where I come from because I went back there officially to inform my people and to consult them, to seek their blessing, to seek their prayer for this epic journey I'm embarking on. From my village, I went to Benin City, where I was welcomed into one of the most powerful palaces in Africa, the Palace of the Oba of Benin. I mean, I'm sure you saw all those videos. For me, it was surreal. I could not believe that the son of a pauper whose father migrated from Edo State to settle in Ile-Ife, sometimes maybe in the 1940s, whose mother was a petty trader, would one day be welcomed into the revered palace of the Oba of Benin. So then my governor, God bless him, Governor Godwin Obaseki. I mean, the reception he gave me, you would have thought I was already the PDP candidate for 2023. But I'm only an aspirant. But I can see that he's an oracle himself, and he could see clearly that this is one Edolite who has accomplished so much in his private capacity, and he was ready to give me his support. I've been to other places since then. I'm currently in the Southwest, and the second master stroke is that my mother is from Gogon in Osun State. And if you check my videos today, you will have seen a lot of activities. Some of the oldest masquerades in my mother's village came out in broad daylight yesterday. I've never seen anything like it. Usually, maybe only one masquerade will come out at a particular season. They all came out to welcome me to Gogon. The Olufi of Gogon, our royal father, was on hand to receive me. Last night was a clincher when I was welcomed first to Modakeke, where I grew up, next to Ile-Ife, and I was received by the Akoraye, who is the king of Modakeke. From there, I received the biggest welcome ever by the Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife. Don't forget, I was born in Ile-Ife. I'm a child of diversity. I am not a common Nigerian. The story of my life is the story of a humble boy who was born in the ancient city of Ife. And last night, I told the Oni of Ife, Obadeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II, the story of my life, and everybody was almost in tears. Because my mother was a petty trader just opposite the palace for many years. I have interacted with 3 Oni of Ife, from Obadesoji Aderemi to Oba Okun Adesiju Adeolubije II, and to our current king, the Oni Enitan Ogunwusi. It's not a common story. Where I was raised in Ife, you will not believe it was the same place where the late Dele Momodu was born in Ile-Ife. Can you believe that? There must be something special about the water of Ile-Ife. And Ile-Ife also produced the late Dele Adikame, my classmate at St. John's Grammar School. Ile-Ife also produced the gentleman, my good friend from Modakeke, Dele Olojede, who won the Pulitzer Prize some years back. So for me, it's been quite a state of nostalgia. You know, everywhere I'm going, I'm just seeing my childhood as if in a movie. So that is what is driving me at the moment. This morning I woke up to go to my university, my alma mater, the then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, where I was welcomed by the Vice Chancellor and the principal officers of the greatest university in Africa, the Obafemi Awolowo University. From there, we drove straight to Osogbo, where we met the Paramount King, the Atauja of Osogbo. And within a few minutes, he was able to summon in his chiefs, all the big people in the town. Then I went to Ede, the hometown of the Adelekes. I'm sure you know of the former governor of Osun State, Alhaji Isiaka Adeleke of blessed memory. Of course, you know of the man we call Chairman Dr. Adedeji Adeleke, the owner of Adeleke University, the brother of the former governor, the father of Davido, the man I love to call King David. I mean, one of the greatest phenomenon in music today in Africa. And then, of course, his brother, Senator Ademola Nuruddin Jackson Adeleke, who is vying to become the next governor of Osun State. Sure. So I met their king, the Timi Agbale Olofaino, who welcomed me into his palace, and tomorrow is another day. So it's been a roller coaster, and I'm very excited. But one thing is common: Nigeria is about to be liberated. In the past, you will not find any king who will be able to speak freely when being visited by a politician. You will not find kings who will say, oh, things are bad for the country. People are speaking of what they call the Sorosoke culture. Sorry. I have all the videos, and you will be stunned to know that now Nigerians are desperately speaking up. We're all tired.
Let me come in here. So you think the reason why Nigerians or the ones you've been meeting so far, the reason why they are opening up to you speaking, do you think it's as a result of, or wouldn't you consider that the reason why they are speaking up is as a result of the suffering that they endured in the last 7 years?
Yeah, they are speaking up because of the suffering that they've had to endure almost forever, not just in the last 7 years. I don't want to straitjacket my analysis.
Okay.
My theory is that they are also speaking up because they are seeing someone they know has fought all his life for Nigeria, for democracy, for good governance, for accountability. And a man who has accomplished something in his private life without ever being a commissioner, without being a senator. I mean, what I have done for my country is what fascinates them. You will see all the videos, you'll be amazed. They are speaking up because they can see someone whose message resonates with them. It's not everybody that goes there. They know I've not stolen their billions. They know I've not brought billions for them. A lot of big politicians have passed through some of these cities in the last couple of days. They've not gained the kind of traction that I am gaining right now. And don't forget that I'm a master of content. I'm in entertainment. I'm in showbiz. So just like you will find with Barack Obama in America, with Donald Trump in America, with Ronald Reagan in America, with Arnold Schwarzenegger in America, or with Berlusconi in Italy. Now, Nigeria has their own showbiz man who has accomplished a lot in business and in the media and in politics without ever being in government, and is now coming in. Because election is primarily a popularity contest before anything else.
Sure.
It will be hard to find someone who has done as much as I have done in the last 30, 40 years in the business of entertainment.
Now that you're mentioning that, let me get, fast forward a question that I have for you on a later segment, but let me bring that forward. Now, in this election, there are people in your party, the party you joined recently, they have very deep pockets. Now, no one is in your bank account, or I do not have that magical power to see what is in your bank account. But I do not imagine, having not commingled with state money, that it will be that humongous. Having said that, how do you intend to fight it out and battle it out with those with deep pockets? By the way, before you answer that question, I have been informed that there is no sound on your Instagram live. So if you may attend to that.
Yeah, I'm actually logging out of it now to go to Facebook. I don't know why. So
Okay.
thank you so much for informing me. I already noticed that there were not too many people on it. So I'm now migrating to Facebook. Thank you.
Okay. So, to that, how do you intend to fight you know, I don't want to use the word money bags, but, the deep pockets within your party? How do you intend to, you know, uh, beat them and clinch that ticket?
My dear brother, I'm not afraid of money bags. For your information, let me humbly submit that no billionaire has ever been the president of Nigeria. I
True.
hope you are getting my message.
Sure. Yes.
When General Obasanjo contested in 1999, he had no money. In fact, he had just come back from prison not too long ago. When Dr. Umaru Musa Yar'Adua contested, he had no money. Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was not a money bag. The case of Major General Muhammadu Buhari was even worse. He said he didn't even have money to purchase his ticket. So the God that did it for them will do it for me. The God, I'm repeating, sir, the God that did it for them will do it for me. I'm not a money bag. I'm not going to have the kind of money that some of them have. Don't forget that this money, more often than not, is state money. If you work hard for your money, you will not be throwing billions away into a bottomless pit. I know people who have contested almost forever and they have not made it, and they are ready to continue to spend. Sometimes I begin to question the motive behind people spending that kind of money. Of course, you have to spend money on logistics. We are already spending money on logistics, but it's not money on bribing people. Where some of my colleagues are throwing $100,000, $250,000, Dele will go there, maybe spend 2 million on logistics, and I will still gain more traction than the man who has spent 50, 100 million. We cannot continue to waste our resources. It's unfortunate. Everywhere I go, I see young people that have given up hope on Nigeria. I'm offering them hope if they will accept it. I'm out to serve my country, and I'm appealing to the young ones, especially the ones who have jobs at home and abroad. Come to my help. If I find 1 million Nigerians to give me 1,000 naira, that's already 1 billion. If I find 1 million Nigerians to give me 10,000 naira, that's already 10 billion. I'll be fine. The trouble is, how do you persuade people that you will be different? Because everybody will, oh, you're all the same, Joe. But God knows I am not the same with anybody. God has prepared me. God has preserved me for this moment and for this purpose.
No.
God has donated me to the largest political party in Africa, the PDP, and I'm ready, fully prepared to
Now,
take on the task.
you just mentioned now that when politicians say and they mention God. I'm a Christian, but I always want to have at the back of my mind, well, God doesn't vote in an election. Having said that, I want to come to what you've just basically hinted now. You're talking about the PDP. You recently joined the PDP. If I may recall, about 2 years ago, there was an interview you granted.
Yes, sir.
And when you said that you, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was after your birthday. And I was in that meeting, and you said that having contested when you did contest election in Nigeria, that, the presidency is not for you, that you have learned your lesson and you have paid your price. Now, the question is, at what point did you change your mind now to want to contest for the presidency of the great nation?
Look, I have contested in 2011 and I learned my lessons. The first lesson was you cannot win a national election from a fringe local political party. Number two, you cannot win a national election if your party does not have the requisite structures. That's what happened to Donald Trump in America. He had to go into the Republican Party because he needed structures. He didn't want to make or repeat the mistake of Ross Perot, who was a billionaire like him, but he couldn't win because he was an independent candidate. But in the last 2 years, probably after the encounter you are talking about, I've seen that Nigeria has gone deeper and deeper into the abyss. I mean, never in peacetime have we seen Nigeria in such a state of hopelessness. More and more people were agitating to break away from Nigeria. And I got alarmed that if I want to be selfish, all I needed to do, I know everybody in the system in A or B, all I needed to do was fold my hands and make money from the system and make sure that I can live anywhere on this planet. Most people make money in Nigeria and they go to spend it abroad. So I decided that, look, I will be 62 this year. I'll be 63 next year. By the time we're doing the elections, I'll be close to 63. Chief MKO Abiola contested in 1993. I believe, and most people agreed, he won the election, but he was not able to reclaim his mandate. By 2023, it will be exactly 30 years. This suddenly occurred to me that we have wasted 30 years in the forest of 1,000 demons just because of a singular mistake we made by not accepting and recognizing our best election in 1993. By 1993, Chief MKO Abiola would have died for about 25 years or more. That also raised an alarm in me. That so we're going to allow the same politicians who have been contesting since then to still grab our country and lock it down. So what will I tell my God? That he gave me all the talent, gave me all the accomplishments, and I wasted it because I was timid, because I was squeamish, and because I was selfish. It's selfishness that makes most Nigerians say, politics is dirty. And yet you are going to complain tomorrow that you are being ruled by someone who is inferior to you. So, and then a lot of my friends, especially during the COVID period, because I was doing a lot of interviews. Anybody did as much interview. The Kano interviewed Sunday Igboho, Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, interviewed, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Everybody, I was just interviewing everybody. And I realized that our country was in deep trouble unless you and I rise up to do something about it. That's what brought back the interest. I'd given up, just like if Abiola did sometime around 1981 when he was frustrated out of MP and he said he would never go back to politics. But at some point, he realized that he could not sufficiently use his own personal wealth to change the poverty that was ravaging Nigeria. So that is my situation today. I've decided to use my talents, if my people permit, and I believe that I'm seeing some opening. Now, everywhere I go, you can see I'm being celebrated as if I'm already on a presidential state visit. It was not like that when I contested in 2011.
So
So
a lot has happened. Now,
a lot of, exactly,
a lot has
exactly.
happened. I like that explanation because many people watching now globally will be thinking, okay, at what point did you make that change? And it's good that you made that clarification. But having made that clarification comes a follow-up question to that. In a recent interview you had with Arise TV, I think that was with Ruben Abati, my good friend Rufai and co. You alluded to the fact that for anyone to win presidential election in Nigeria, that you must have the blessings or, somewhat in an alliance with those quote unquote you called the owners of Nigeria. Now, if I go through that theory, have you extracted the blessings of those owners of Nigeria?
You see, I'm sure you would have noticed that a lot of activities are ongoing in Nigeria. People are consulting here and there. Only yesterday, I think, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar visited former President Olusegun Obasanjo. I myself visited former President Olusegun Obasanjo about 3-4 weeks ago. On a Sunday, I was in Abeokuta, and he drove me to his church where he preached, and we rode back in his car to his house where we had our private meeting. The content of that meeting, I'm not able to divulge, but you know that today in Nigeria, General Olusegun Obasanjo is the capo di tutti capi, and not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. After Nelson Mandela, I think it's been the greatest statesman around. You may not like him, no human being is perfect, but he's a man of very sharp intellect, sharp wits, extremely brave, loves Nigeria passionately, has robust knowledge about almost everything. I've met him at conferences, and I've come to respect him highly. I've had issues with him in the past. They are well documented, but he's a man you cannot ignore. And all his former colleagues, they defer to him. Even those who don't like him, they know that Baba is the ultimate dawn. So that's why everybody is going to him. So I'll leave it at that.
But he's
I
only
know what he told me.
well, he's only
Wait,
one. He's
just a
only
minute.
one of those. So
No, I am telling you, they are all connected. I've had interactions with former President Ibrahim Babangida, I'm sure since he was in Jordan Barracks, even before he moved to Abuja. So that is where Dele Momodu is different. Because I've not been a governor, a lot of people tend to underrate me, which is my biggest strength. There is none of the owners, except maybe General Wushishi, who passed on recently. There is none of them I have not interacted with at very close quarter. So what we discuss, when we discuss, what they tell me, what I tell them, of course, I cannot say on an open platform like this. But I can tell you that I'm in touch with many of them, with members of their family. If you remember, Ovation has enabled me to connect to virtually who is who, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. So if you talk about the Babangida family, virtually all the weddings of his children, Aisha Babangida, Muhammad Babangida, you know, Ovation was involved. Halima, even Halima's wedding. If you talk about Abdusalami Abubakar's daughter, I was involved. If you talk about former President Yaradua's daughter, I was involved. If you talk about former President Goodluck Jonathan's daughter's wedding, I was involved. So Ovation has been a soft spot for a lot of people. Even as recent as last year, we produced a special edition on President Babangida's 80th birthday. Ovation is a celebratory magazine. It's a feel-good magazine that makes people feel comfortable. So this is what has endeared me to so many people. And I'm very grateful for that. But they know I'm fair-minded. They know that I will always speak truth to power. It doesn't matter whether you're my friend or you're not my friend. I will always tell you the truth. So okay. I'm okay. I'm comfortable. Yes.
So now
you're going to say something.
Yeah. You've basically explained that. But let me piggyback on what you said before. When you talked about joining the PDP, you talked about that no one could win an election, especially within our environment, without being in a big party or in a big family. But some have argued that I remember one of my guests recently made this argument that when you talk about someone like Emmanuel Macron, the French president, he argued that he didn't come from a main, or rather, a very large French political party. He came from the behind and he was able to win the election. What's your take?
Once in a blue moon, you will have an Emmanuel Macron. I don't think that will happen yet in Nigeria. You are talking about a democracy that is much older than yours. You are talking about a democracy where majority of their population is not just educated, but enlightened. You are talking about a country. I know France very well. I've been to France too many times. So it's a country I know and I've studied very well. I know their politics. They have very strong unions. They have very principled unionists. They have a principled citizenry, not a place where you can bribe someone with less than $5 just to vote. Look, in fact, my current consultation visits have revealed something to me that we are far, far, far away from getting there. Most places you go to today, those of them who are telling you that they want to become Emmanuel Macron, nobody has ever heard their names before. I'm lucky that I've been in the system for over 30 years as a media personality and a media baron. Do you understand? I challenge any of these people to go to Shubo Ede or Ileife and mention their name. They will never have heard those names before. I can bet my life on it.
Well,
that's number one. Number two,
sorry, if someone makes that same
let
argument,
them drive.
If someone makes the same argument,
you said what?
If someone makes the same argument and say, well, if you're, someone could actually, maybe someone from, let me say, in a village in Zamfara or somewhere in Abia State near Ojus Okalo's house, maybe, and say, would you, on the streets of Bende, would somebody recognize you in that particular remote area? I mean, that could be a counter argument to your last submission.
My brother, that person then does not live. I became a full-time journalist in Nigeria in 1988 when I arrived in Lagos. How many years ago? Calculate that. I've worked virtually in every part of Nigeria. I'm one of the most visible personalities on social media today. Look, as you were talking, I was trying to quickly open something to you, and you don't know what some of us have done in Nigeria. And I'm not kidding. There is no governor today, and I've never been in government. Look, who can say he is more popular apart from maybe 4, 5 that you will mention nationally and people will know him. I do this everywhere I go. I will ask, name half of the governors in Nigeria, 18. Everybody will struggle. Ask what have they done before they became governor. If that becomes more difficult. And I'm not being immodest. Today, Dele Momodu is one of the biggest brands in Africa. It's not just in Nigeria. In the last 10 years or 11 years since I last contested, social media has become proliferated all over Nigeria, and I have evidence of it. On my phone, what I'm trying to check for you, which I can quickly show you, if I knew you were going to ask this question, but I will do a quick test for you, because we have to be practical instead of just say, oh, this is who is popular, who is not popular. I am telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I've traveled in every part of Nigeria. I've reached out to every part of Nigeria, donating palliatives to people. Just a minute, you will see it now. You'll be amazed. Which state are you from, please?
Anambra State.
Anambra.
Is
Fantastic.
that the cash transfers that you've engaged in?
The app. Okay. Yes, the app we're talking about. In every state in Nigeria, I have people you can call foot soldiers. Every state, almost every local government. People tend to underrate the impact of, they think social media is Instagram or Twitter. No. Anyone today who has a smartphone is on WhatsApp. That's the secret weapon of politics today. That is why if anything happens now, in the next few minutes, the whole world would have seen it. You don't have to be on Facebook. You don't have to be on Instagram. You don't have to be on Twitter. Once you're on WhatsApp, you will be well informed about what is going on. Look, I did something a few days ago. I was on social media. I was making phone calls randomly. You'll be shocked where people were reaching us from. There is hardly a village today in Nigeria where internet is not connected. The biggest business in telecoms today is the internet. Let them continue to say, I can tell you, I have used the media in powerfully. Why do you think people keep accusing me that I brought Buhari to power in 2015? If I could be one of those who supported Buhari to power in 2015, how can you now tell me that 7 years later, I will not have the capacity to help myself?
I take that on board. I would want to know eventually, maybe offline, from Anambra State, Aguata to be precise, those on that list from my own neck of wood.
With phone numbers and email addresses, you'll be surprised.
Yes. Okay.
You will be surprised.
Now, that will bring me to the next question, which is on the much touted third force. Now, you've said that Emmanuel Macron, coming from a unionist party or a unionist background, where there is this trade union that really propelled him, as it almost became in the case of Aid Miliband and the brother at some point before Aid Miliband did what he did to Andrew Miliband. That's a case for another day. Now, having said that, now in Nigeria here, there are people who believe that they can win this election by upsurging the PDP and the APC by coming together. Those disgruntled Nigerians who are angry, saying that PDP have failed for 16 years, APC has basically taken them 80 years backwards in the last 7 years. Eventually, by the time they will leave it to 8 years. So some of them are saying, okay, let's add 1 0. They've really, that's how long they've taken us back. Now, in between, we have unaccounted number of people whom they are banking on to use to win the next election. What's your view on the issue of third force? Do you think it will work?
Let me tell you, before the 2019 election, I received a very special visitor, the former governor of Cross River State, Mr. Donald Duke,
Duke.
a man I love so much. I love him. He used to call me his campaign manager because, I mean, for me, he's one of my dream candidates for Nigeria. I love cosmopolitan leaders, leaders who can address modern issues and someone who has accomplished so much in his life. He came to see me and we sat there for a couple of hours and he was trying to talk to me about the idea of a third force. And I told him not to waste his time. By the time he left, I'd half convinced him. But by the time he left me, some people more than half confused him and persuaded him into accepting that a third force could make him the next president of Nigeria. Of course, the rest is history. Look, if you know Nigeria as well and as much as I do, you will know how difficult, even in America, everywhere in the world, a third force is something that happens when there is a major volcanic eruptions in some political parties. There has to be a major political volcanic eruption. That is what will happen. But as of today, I have not seen that in PDP or APC. How many people have left PDP or APC to convince you that a third party is now ready? We knew a second party, a new party, don't even say it wasn't even a third party. A new party was going to emerge when the likes of Atiku Abubakar, Aminu Tambua, Bukola Saraki, Rotimi Amechi, and the rest of them left PDP to form the APC. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You had Muhammadu Buhari, who came from CPC. Tell me anybody today who has half of the popularity of Buhari amongst those who are forming the third party. Tell me how many people in the new third party you can equate to the Amechis, to the Atiku, to the Sarakis, to the Tambuas, to the Rabiu Kwankwasos of those days. Interestingly, I think Kwankwaso is one of those people they are mentioning now in the third force. But I am telling you, they will have to literally break APC into two thirds, maybe not even two, into two thirds, and make sure they can have the chunk of that. Break APC and PDP, and then maybe you now have another form of APC.
Are you not?
Unless you do that.
Are you not factoring in that the primaries hasn't happened? And obviously, politicians, when their shoulders are so high that they think that they own certain parties And if they do not get their way, you see that last minute how they do decamp, undercamp, and move to the next thing in town.
My brother, forming a new party is
No,
not
in this case, it's not
a
really
one.
forming. It's about
It's
coming
not a
together.
no, having a new. No, it's virtually a new party. The third force on. So what you are saying now is that people will get disgruntled in APC and in PDP, and they will now go into SDP or go into Labour Party. So it is not a 1 month affair. There is so much involved. I'm telling you,
Okay.
to do that, you will need more time, you will need funding, and I'm telling you today, I don't see anybody who has that kind of money or even time to
Okay.
try it.
So this next segment, you know, is for the street. In this segment, I would ask you the following question in pidgin English. Now, you and I go waka enter street. You will join me. Make we enter the street. So the street as we dey now, we don't enter street where everybody dey para. Everybody they say we no get job. Everybody they say insecurity everywhere. You go to the east, now on gun no man. You come to the forest of the southwest. Now people where they kidnap. You go northeast, katakata everywhere. You go northwest. Even the presido, the holla say na siblings they do this thing. So anywhere you go, you get one network where they say anywhere you go, the thing they follow you. So as it be, now you and I don't enter street, and that they ask you, as insecurity be, as joblessness be, as bad economy be, let's say people wake up one day, all the effort we don't make, you don't pay. So the PDP carry the ticket, give you. So they do election. You see yourself say you don't become president for this nation. Waiting be that thing where we say in the 3 months where you don't did that seat, 6 months, 1 year, waiting be that way you go do for people where we they speak to now, the people where they street, not be the people where they hear grammar. Now this one where we say if you know do one, they fit tear bottle for you.
Make I tell you something, the great Mazi. If we no reunite our people urgently, nothing will work. All the insecurity, all the banditry way we they talk about, all the government way they talk about. Now, because people then they frustrated for the street. People no get job, people no get hope, people no know what the government they do. Everybody just they harass them, police go harass them for road. You carry computer, they go say you will be Yahoo Yahoo. You just they go like that. Then you go see, say you be second class citizen for your own country. Some people they walk, like they say monkey they walk, baboon they chop. People go get tired. One day, monkey go market, go steal banana, you know, go come back. That na the story of Nigeria. If I be president Buhari today, or when I become president for next year, I will make sure, say, all the tension will come down, the tension will come down. I go reach out to every part, everywhere where Nigerians dey. I don't do am already. You go see very soon the things where because they don't tell me, say the thing where you go they do when you get money, if for don't they try am where you no get money. The thing where I go do when I don't become president, now the thing where you go they see me do even now. The way they waka they connect everybody. No be because I want make the tension come down. Me, I be child of destiny. I be child of diversity. For me to waka come from Edo, come join Osun. 3 regions dey for south of Nigeria. 3. I already come from 2. And you be my brother from the 3rd. And you know the kind of connection where I get for the 3rd. That go settle the problem. Me, I no go take religion. They terrorize anybody. You and your God, wetin you like, make you practice. No be my wahala. Trust me, if we comot tension, racial, tribal tension for Nigeria, a lot of the problems of insecurity will come out. 1. 2, as I talk to you now, I don't reach out small to some ASU people. A lot of our kids no fit go school because every day now so the teacher just they say they no go agree. Why? Politicians they get money to do whatever they want to do, but lecturers who go teach our own pikin for school, they go say they no get money. For my family, my senior brother, na professor. My own older sister, na teacher. Me self, na teacher I won't be. And I don't teach before. When I don't finish my master, I no gree get job. Now him take me waka go journalism. Teaching dey our blood. Education go dey among my priority. Education, and it's no difficult. All in a take is to start small from somewhere. In Nigeria, it be like say they just want to do everything, and you no get money for everything. So what you go do is make you dey cut your coat according to the size of the cloth, according to the cloth where they are available. We go do that one. If you have the kind of connection where I get for international, you go get a lot of help from people. You and I know, say, as sabi presidents well for Africa. I don't waka go everywhere. I know the way then they take to them. They don't get words. So Nigeria get money pass many of them. Why they know they perform for Nigeria and then they perform for the other countries? We too they waste money like water. Me, I tell you that I will make personal sacrifice. Make I cut some of the things where we they waste money on. Corruption. I don't see how African countries they tackle corruption. We go make sure say money no dey flow yafu.
You go sell
Cash.
presidential jets too.
I go do what?
You go sell presidential jets too. Remember, say the people where they now they've been
I
promising.
hear say they get about 11 or 12 presidential jets.
They've been tell us
For me,
sell them or take money.
that's what they tell us. I don't know. That's what they tell us. If we get 12 presidential jets, then we decrease. I know presidents, even the Pope for Italy, when they travel, and the Pope now one of the biggest VIPs in the world. When they travel, go carry an Italia. Anytime where I don't see Pope, they travel now in Italia. Many times when I don't see Queen of England, now British Airways. Nigeria won't live like American president. We carry Air Force One. You know, fit the practice capitalism if you don't get the capital. Person we don't get money, we won't live big. Now in head, no correct. If we get 11, then we must sell some. This one where president's son or daughter go carry play, go they do shopping for Paris or for Dubai. It don't make sense to me.
Anyway, thank you very much. We don't go straight. We don't come back. So I like that section. I mean, why would they like go street? Make people will be say we will be paro pusher, we will be Okada riders and keke riders. Make we know say you they understand our language so that when we go the para, we will not say not be somebody go not say person get ear infection or say person no they understand what they talk because we they talk what it no enter. So let's come back again. Now I will take this last question. This is from the audience. And after this, I would give one or two people chance to ask you 30 seconds question. Then we can call it a day. And this question goes though. It says that for an equitable and just society, that the next president, as has been argued by some social cultural groups like Afanifere, Pandev, Ohaneze, Sukapu, that there should be, for equity and fairness, there should be a zoning of the presidency, or rather a micro zoning of the presidency to a certain region. And in this case, the individual here is making a case for the parties, that is the two main parties, the APC and the PDP, to micro zone this to the southeast. If that be the case, the question then from the individual is, what is then your view? Do you think for equity and fairness? And also the person made the allusion to when in one of your viral videos where you said that Igbos are not being treated right. And I think that when I say in the real sense of a viral video, that video went viral. Where you alluded to the fact that Igbos are not being treated right, that they should be given and accommodated in this country, that if you had your way, you should make that happen. Just opposing this together, what is then your view on this clamor for the two main political parties to microzone the next presidency to the southeast?
Thank you, Mazi. I've been waiting for that question since the beginning. I knew it was going to come up, and it's a question I love to answer. I've always been pro Igbo nation. Very, very pro. I've described the Igbo people of Nigeria as being a combination of the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, the Indians, in terms of their mental capacity, their knowledge of technology, their raw natural talent. And I've always believed that Nigeria allowed them to thrive. Perhaps by now we will have our own Silicon Valley in the southeast of Nigeria. I stand by that. I stand by that. Number two, I believe that for you to get power, it's going to be difficult for anybody to hand it over to you just like that. You must be strategic. Okay? You must be strategic. And I've learned something from studying Nigerian politics. The northern part of Nigeria, when it comes to seeking power, you will not hear anybody say, it must be northeast or nothing, northwest or nothing, north central or nothing. They will first of all say, we want power to remain in the north. Is that not what you hear?
Sure.
But in the south, the Yorubas are insisting it must be Yoruba. The Igbos are insisting it must be Igbo. And the South are insisting it must come to the South because we have not completed what President Jonathan started. The truth of the matter is that for as long as the South stands disunited, we continue to lose power to the North. So the first thing I recommend is that let's first agree that power must shift to the South. When that happens, let every part of the South that believes it is its right to do it, you will never find, even if you write it out in black and white, that it must be done. Some people will still go. Look at already now. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is a northerner. Kwankwaso is a northerner. Tambuwa is a northerner. And it is obvious that they want to contest election, despite the fact that after 8 years of Buhari, power should shift elsewhere. So it tells you that because it's not something that is in the constitution, some people will always go against it. Did Buhari not contest against Yaradua? They are from the same state. Buhari contested. It tells you that you cannot stop any man's ambition for any other person, even when the generality of the people agrees. So now, my own strategy is that number one, you cannot say because I want an Igbo man to be president, then it must be any Igbo man. One of the things I have against quota system is the fact that we just say, yes, because we have zoned something to, we need to reflect federal character, just go and pick somebody. Amongst those who are running now, have they not been in government before in Nigeria? Have you asked them what did they do with the power that they held in the past? So if, for example, you were in the Senate, so what did you contribute to Igbo nation in the Senate? You have Igbo governors today who have power. Some of them have access to Buhari, okay, because they are in APC. Have you asked them what has the Igbo nation gained by being close to Buhari? At least you've had Rocha Sokorocha. Now you have Omai, and now you have Hopu Sodima. Have you asked that what have they gained from being in APC? You've had my very good friend and brother, Payosayin. He has been Senate President. He has been Secretary to the federal government. Please, the Secretary to the federal government is the engine room of every government. What has that brought to Igbo land? The former presidents of Nigeria, two have come from Katsina. Two, Yaradua and Buhari, and they've had a second in command in the late Major General Shehu Musa Yaradua. Has Katsina become Dubai on account of that? So it is not enough for you to say, I want my brother or my sister to become president or governor. You must ask, does the person possess what it takes to be president or governor?
Exactly. So
that is the issue.
Okay.
So today, I have no problem with an Igbo man becoming president. No problem.
So now
I have my schools that I expected to come in, either in APC or PDP. My preference in PDP would be a Peter Obi, but I don't have the power to make him president. He would have to go and slug it out in the party. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if I had power, then maybe I would just say, just put Peter Obi and it will be done. I mentioned Donald Duke to you the other time.
Yeah.
So I wanted it. Yes, go on.
I do understand where you're coming from. you made a very critical point that the South must learn. When because the North, you hardly hear micro zoning. When they speak, they talk about the North. Even when the Middle Belt or the Northwest, or sorry, the North Central is saying no, 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 we want to be not included in the North, in the nomenclature North, but it appears everybody ignores. But here we kind of struggle for that. Now, but my follow-up question to what you have said and alluded to, assuming we can see the right foot of the APC party by the virtue of zoning the party chairmanship to the north and inadvertently the presidential candidate to the south, if PDP follows suit and if there at any point becomes, where conscience is appealed to, and you, Dr. Chief Dele Momodu, is brought in a room and said to, for equity and fairness for a people you so much love, would you, for them, I agree with you, competence must be the watchword for them to give Nigeria the best they can offer. Would you be something that will cross your mind to ever yield to?
I'm one person that if I find someone who is superior to me, I defer to the person. But I am telling you today that I will not support anybody just because of where you come from. That cannot be your only qualification. It is wrong.
Understood.
It's against my principle that I will just wake up and say, oh, because that's why I asked you the question that you've had big people in government. Maybe you've not had a president, but you've had big people who were very influential in government. Have you asked them what happened? If you were talking about restructuring, why couldn't they restructure? I ask people from my own area who have been in government, I ask them. So now everybody's talking restructuring. But you were in a position to fix it. Why didn't you do it? Why are you not talking about it after you've left power?
I would
That's
take this question.
number two. Okay, go on.
No, sorry, finish that before I interject.
So number two is that strategically, I can tell you, you mentioned that APC has zoned to the north. I don't know about that. But PDP already has a northern chairman in Dr. Yochayu, a very brilliant cerebral gentleman. But despite that, is Alhaji Atiku and others not trying to contest? It's not going to stop them because it is not constitutional. So if we are smart, then the best way to get a powerful force to stop them is by getting the most popular southern candidate. That's why I'm in the race.
Understood.
It would be stupid if we all fold our arms and say, because I want an Igbo president, I want a Yoruba president, and then you don't present the most formidable. You'll be shocked that the other party would not go to the north, get their own ready, and then catch you napping. That's what's going to happen. So
Understood.
today, you have a Nigerian who is both south-south, who is both south-south and southwest. Two for the price of one.
So inadvertently, from what you're saying, you've already covered two regions,
I wouldn't have joined if I felt, let me tell you, I would not have joined the race if I felt that some other southerners who can perform better and who can get, the victory are already in the race. Maybe tomorrow they will emerge. Many of them are still consulting. So let's wait and see.
Okay.
As for me and my house, I've already joined the race and I've covered a lot of grants, and I will continue to cover more grants. When I'm running, it's the loneliness of a long distance runner. I keep running, I don't look back. I'll keep going until I arrive at my destination.
I can I can testify to that, and I would say to anyone watching us now, if you're not on Instagram and if you're not following Chief Dr. Dele Momodu there, you are missing out. You know, I in the mornings and I log in, I see from morning to night, or many times we have spoken, I say,
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
that
sir. Thank you.
how do you do it? How do you find the energy? Because I feel fascinated, what you do every single day, the mileage you cover
Look,
every
let
single
me let
day.
me give you an exclusive before you go. Let me just show you something. A lot of people will never understand the kind of life I live. Let me just take this off the hook. My hotel room where I am right now. Can you see how this is a hotel? Can you see? I have to get things ready for tomorrow because
I think the connection obviously didn't like that movement.
my, my visit will begin by 8 a.m. It's not a joke. I'm not kidding. Let me show my friends on Facebook. This is how I live. You can see I'm getting ready. You can see the guy. Oh, okay. Let's
Okay.
see if you can. Can you
The
see me now?
no, the connection is gone, is frozen. But I
Can you see me? Hello?
no, we can't. But okay.
Hello?
No,
Hello?
you've gone. Your visual is gone out. Okay, we can see you now. Your visual.
You can see
For some
me
reason,
now.
we are coming to the end of. We are coming to the
Can you
end
see
of.
me now?
Okay, I can. I can.
Ah, that's strange.
You're back. So maybe we maintain the position that you kept before. Wow, that's indeed a work table.
Can you see? I just walked straight into this hotel. I have not been able to have dinner, nothing. All I put for have now is this. You can see the flask for the tea. I go to bed 7 a.m. I'm ready to hit the road.
Okay,
That's the story of my life. Thank you, sir.
no worries. Thank you very much. It has been a privilege to have you here on this one on one. And now let me have the last question here. And that question is going to come from Obueshi Deli Ajufo. Deli, if you may unmute yourself, please stick to the question less than 1 minute, please. Go ahead, Deli.
Thank you, Tochuku. I've appreciated Dele Momodu's approach to governance. I only have one question. Should he become the president by accident or omission or commission, how does he address the lie that has governed us? The constitution which says, we, the people.
Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you,
Obviously,
sir. How are you? It's good to see you, sir. Hello?
yes, go
Can
ahead.
you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. A lot of platforms have asked me.
Oh, sorry. Kindly unmute. Sorry. Go ahead.
I've done that.
Okay. Go ahead.
I've done that. Yes. A lot of people have asked me this question about the constitution of Nigeria. It is worthless. It would never allow any government or any president or any leader to function properly. I agree. But with the myriad of problems and challenges that we have at the moment, we will have to start by looking at the areas of the constitution that are good enough, that are workable enough, and then concentrate on that. And then, as part-time, we cannot make it a full-time thing. Because if you now say you want to start another constitutional conference, look, we've had too many conferences in the past. We still have those documents gathering dust somewhere. A good and reasonable president will go and pick those documents, look at them, and then seek advice from legal experts as to how to handle it without distracting the attention of the state and without wasting the resources of the state. Nigeria today can hardly afford anything. Nigeria is in great debt. Nigeria has infrastructure deficit. Nigeria today does not have electricity to power the few industries that are still standing. If we now add constitution to our biggest problem, look, sir, I believe that our priority right now should be how to manage what we have and then hope that we can build on it. When I was starting Ovation, I like to give that example, in 1996, we did a business plan. We needed 150,000 pounds in England to start small scale. We could only raise 20,000. We approached our bank manager at National Westminster Bank. The lady told us it is impossible. But as Nigerians, we believed that nothing was impossible. Today, we have survived and we are approaching our 26th year this April. So it's the same approach and attitude we must have towards the problems of Nigeria. Yes, our constitution is greatly skewed in favor of some particular regions, but if you have a good president, he will manage the little federalism or whatever is there in contained for now, and then when people begin to see that sense of equity, of justice, of fair play, of the rule of law, you will see that there will be better cooperation among the ethnic groups. That, for me, will be my response for now.
So,
Thank you, sir.
So, in essence, what you're saying is that you will virtually, if elected president, you are not going to venture into restructuring because you believe that a lot of, constitutional conference has happened and a lot of documents generated. Or would people, for clarity here, would you be willing to look into the various constitutional conferences held with a view to collating points? For instance, we had the 2014, we have, within the last 8 years, we have the 2014, we have the APC led one. I mean, two of them. Isn't that something that any government coming in, listening to the people, saying that the people want a direct, because these are things done by their representative, isn't it something that any government coming in should look into reviewing, considering that the current government at some point,
Nigeria, sir,
yeah.
Nigeria must be restructured, but it must be restructured with minimum disruption. There must be a note of caution. We like to bandy a lot of terms and terminologies in Nigeria. If you ask those of us who talk about restructuring today to explain what it means, we have 200 interpretations. And the things we need to do, I can tell you, are not so difficult, especially where you have it. But there is no leader who can do it solely or intentionally, unless you're a dictator. There is none. Don't let anybody come here and tell you the Buhari and all of them, they don't promise restructuring, and they talk it against them. Virtually every leader who wants to contest an election and election in Nigeria will come and tell you, oh, we must, because they know that's what some people want to hear. But we're not robots. The reality on ground is that right now, so are you going to assemble people from heaven to go to Abuja to go and write a new constitution? If you are still going to pick people from different parts of Nigeria, they will go to Abuja, stay at the hotels, spend money in the hotels, do this, do that, while Nigeria is bleeding away. So my note of caution is that we've talked more than enough times. People have preferred solutions to the problems of restructuring. So why don't we then find, that's what I'm telling you, that you need experts who can advise us on how to achieve it with minimum. If you do that, that'd be fantastic. But if you say your only priority is to come and fight a battle of the ethnic groups from the one, before you know, that's what happened to Buhari. Before you knew it, what would you say that promise 7 years is almost gone now? In another few months, his government would have become a lame dog. He wanted to fight corruption, he couldn't fight it. He wanted to fight insecurity, he couldn't fight it. You must pick your priority as a government. And I'm telling you, Nigeria have too many issues right now than to start another war. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is a very fantastic place to anchor it. It has been, a very interesting conversation on the State of the Nation series, one-on-one with my guest, Chief Dr. Dele Momodu, who is the publisher, Ovation International. He is a businessman, motivational speaker, social crusader, and also the 2023 presidential aspirant under the People's Democratic Party. Sir, it has been a great pleasure to speaking to you this evening.
Thank you, sir. I really enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Thank you.
My love to you and yours. Always. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you. And once more, thank you. So, all viewers watching us across the globe,
Thank you.
This is a series that happens every Sunday. Join us next Sunday. We will be having Professor Femi Olufemilade, who will be, a presidential candidate under the Social Democratic Party, a presidential aspirant before the SDP people take me to court because they haven't conducted their primaries. So, and after that, hopefully on the 20th, we will be speaking to the former AGF and the former Senate President Anyim Pius Anyim on the 20th. So the conversation must continue and the conversation will continue. On that note, I will say thank you, everyone, and good night from here. My name, once more.